Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we are here to talk about what I think is the first ever Terrorvision title that I've reviewed on this channel, and that is the new Rumpelstiltskin 4K release. Look at this thing, guys. What a beautiful box set release. And this was a big deal. Like when they announced this, I think it was like early in the morning. I remember this. Like I was getting ready to walk into work and I got the notification that Rumpelstiltskin was on the Terrorvision website. I think they had just put it up on there. So I feel like I was one of like the first few people to pre-order this title, but I knew I had to get this one. This is a 90s horror staple. I've actually never seen the movie. I remember the poster though from back in the day very vividly. I don't know if I ever saw it at my local video store. I feel like I would have got it if I did, but I do remember like the poster. For some reason, it's a very distinctive poster for sure. So this is a 90s, like, you know, video store horror staple from the 90s. Anyway, yeah, a big title, a big get for Terrorvision. I feel like this is the one that's going to kind of put them on the map a little bit. I mean, Frogman did it a little bit, I think, you know, with getting that in Walmart and all that stuff. But I think Rumpelstiltskin, like that, it's going to put them on the map. Okay, so yeah, this is the first title that I'm reviewing on the channel. I've actually got a pretty small but respectable Terrorvision collection of about 10 titles back there. They're a good label. They're a what I like to call Vinegar Syndrome light. You know, they're building up their catalog. They're getting there, but they have the same quality slipcover, the same quality box sets, you know, and they do the same kind of like obscure cult like horror films or just cult movies from back in the day. That's kind of what Terrorvision is. I will link their website down below, guys, because there may be some of these box sets left. I'm not too sure if there is. I know that the big package with like the cassette tapes and all that kind of stuff, the bib, like and the shirts, I know all that's sold out. I just got this regular like set right here, this box set edition. Now I do think, because when they announced this, they only had this one and then they only had that like premium package edition. I do think there's a standard coming, and I think it's going to be on their website, but I also think it's going to be on Amazon as well. But I'll link whatever I can down below in the description, guys. Hopefully there's still some of this available. But yeah, guys, before we get into the review, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel, guys. Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me every single day. If you like that kind of stuff, that kind of content, hit that subscribe button. And then comment down below, guys. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Rumpelstiltskin from 1995? This one came out 2 years after Leprechaun, and I reference Leprechaun because it's the same director. Mark Jones did this movie. I actually didn't know that. I watched Leprechaun all the time when I was a kid. Like I love Leprechaun. I watched the sequels as well, but the first one, like I just really loved the first one. I just watched it like over and over again. And like, I don't know, with this movie, and we're getting into talking about the movie, guys. I like to talk about the films, then we'll get to the 4K, we'll get to the special features, we'll paint the overall picture. I will do the unboxing, okay? Can I talk about the film first? All right. But anyway, Leprechaun. The thing with Leprechaun is leprechauns can be cute. They can be silly. You know, they're selling you Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. All that kind of stuff. With Rumpelstiltskin, like he's a pretty like scary bad dude anyway. Like you go back to the old like German fairy tale. And my experience with Rumpelstiltskin, I'll go ahead and say it right now, I used to watch fairy tale theater when I was a kid, and the one episode I remember like very vividly is the one with Shelley Duvall. And the little guy in that episode like creeped me out. That wasn't even supposed to be horror. So I feel like maybe I actively tried to stay away from this because I felt like Rumpelstiltskin was just a scary character anyway. So to make him, I guess what I'm saying is to make him like into a horror character isn't exactly a stretch, because he's trying to take your firstborn son. He's already kind of devious. So like he's already villainous, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That character is already a bad guy, and then you're making him into arguably an even more bad guy in some like makeup and stuff to make him a little bit more scary with Rumpelstiltskin. How did I feel about this movie, guys? Let's get into that. I liked it. I thought it was okay. I did not like it, and this could be like purely based on nostalgia, but I did not like it as much as Leprechaun. I still think Leprechaun's kind of a better movie. Not that I don't think the guy that plays Rumpelstiltskin, I'm trying to see his name. I had everything brought up right here, guys. It's Max Grodenchik. I actually think he's really good as the character, but he's largely like I don't know, kind of like when he was in the interview in the special features, it kind of just felt like he was using his own voice, like he was just kind of playing himself. Whereas I feel like Warwick Davis like brought a little bit more to the Leprechaun character overall, if that makes any sense. But I thought he was good though. I thought he was good in the performance. Yeah, Mark Jones. You know, I feel like with Leprechaun, like that was a smaller budget. I feel like with this film, and they talked about this in special features, they gave him a little bit more to work with. So like this movie in part kind of feels like an action, like road adventure movie in some parts. So like, that's not that I didn't like that, but it kind of took away from the horror for me. Like most of the movies, like kind of on the road, there's like big set pieces, explosions and stuff. So it kind of feels more like an 80s action film in parts than it does a horror film. Whereas like the Leprechaun's more just like pure like horror and suspense, I feel like. And this movie's just kind of more big and bombastic in its approach. Not that it doesn't have some creepy moments and some like really good kills and stuff like that involving Rumpelstiltskin. There's one where he just like freaking lops some guy's head off. That's pretty cool. I was like, holy crap, I want to see more of that. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this film. I thought it was a good time. I thought the makeup effects were excellent. They got Kevin Yeager, who also worked on, you know, later Child's Play films or Chucky films and also Return of the Living Dead. So he's a pro to do the makeup on Rumpelstiltskin. I thought he looked excellent. So yeah, the makeup effects were really good. And this movie, like, it felt like it had good production value to it. Like, it felt big budget. Like I said, it felt like an action film in part. So they definitely got money to do this, like, despite it being more or less like a straight to home video. I know I got a small theatrical run, but it's pretty much a straight to home video movie with a high production. So the movie doesn't feel cheap at all. It's just when you compare this movie to Leprechaun, which I think is impossible not to do because it's kind of the same kind of thing tonally, also the same director, I just like Leprechaun a little bit better. You know, I think Leprechaun's got better characters I can attach myself to a little bit more. But there's a good setup here, you know, with the bringing the emotion in of her losing her husband and stuff. So there's some good stuff in this one as well. It's a fun movie. I'll revisit this one at some point for sure. Now getting into the 4K here, guys. This is a native 4K. You got HDR10. There's no Dolby Vision, but look, here's the thing with Rumpelstiltskin. It really hasn't gotten like any kind of work done to it since the VHS era. Like there was a VHS tape, there was a DVD, but from what I hear of the DVD, like it's pretty much VHS quality. So there really hasn't been any kind of work done on Rumpelstiltskin restoration wise since it came out. So what Terrorvision did by going in and doing that native 4K, adding that HDR10 was really kind of the Lord's work. I mean, especially for people that like remember this movie and wanted a nice transfer of this, a nice edition of this. Like they went in and just cleaned this up and made it look like one of the most beautiful 4Ks that you will ever see. They did terrific work here, guys, I guess is what I'm saying. Like I haven't seen I don't think I've seen one Terrorvision 4K. I think this is the first time I've seen a Terrorvision 4K, but they did as good a job as like Vinegar Syndrome does as Arrow Video. I thought this looked excellent on 4K. And like I said, the production value in this film is high. The makeup effects are good. So like seeing those in 4K like really enhance the quality of this film, I imagine. So yeah, if you remember this on VHS, DVD, like you're going to see this movie in a whole new light. Like it really looked fantastic. It's up there, I think, with some of the best 4Ks of 2025 so far. Like I would put it up pretty high because it really looked great. Like the makeup effects look great. The scenery, everything super just cleaned up, but also it's got that good grain structure in it as well to make you feel like you're watching that film from the 90s. And it just looked good, guys. It looked good. The HDR looked really good. The colors were very vivid. I mean, it's not the most colorful movie in the world, but when there are colors, like they shine. They shine with that 4K, with that HDR. So I think they did a hell of a job, like especially since this really hasn't had like any work done to it. Going back to that negative and just really like restoring this properly, I think. So I think a lot of people, when they see this movie on 4K, like they're going to be really happy with the work that Terrorvision did. So now getting into the sound, you got the DTS HD Master Audio 2.0. Thought it sounded great. No issues with the sound. I've got a soundbar with a subwoofer, and the big moments with the explosions, they hit, guys. They sounded great. So no issues with the sound. You probably could have done a Dolby Atmos with this, though, to be honest, because there was so many like great action set pieces. But I think like for what they did with this release, guys, I think that most people are going to be happy with it. You don't really watch Rumpelstiltskin to have that reference like Dolby Atmos experience. So I think you'll be okay with the 2.0 for this release. Now let's get into the box set, guys, because this thing is freaking gorgeous. Like it just looks so beautiful. Look at the artwork on that. Look at the artwork. And that perfectly just captures Rumpelstiltskin right there. And you got the semi below him. So they're giving you that breakdown vibes, right? They're giving you the breakdown vibes of Kurt Russell with this movie, which like I said, it's part Leprechaun and it's part breakdown with Kurt Russell. Look at the back of that, guys. Look at that. Just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. I think they knocked the artwork on this out of the park. I'll go ahead and say this. I'll say this right now. I think this is better artwork than almost anything Vinegar Syndrome has released in a very long time. In a very long time. Like this artwork is freaking phenomenal compared to most Vinegar Syndrome releases. And I love Vinegar Syndrome, guys. I buy a lot of Vinegar Syndrome. But I wanted to call that out. Inside, you got the slip cover as well. Look at that. That is spectacular. You got the front, you got the back. And yeah, he rides a motorcycle at one point in the movie. And I think that's so cool, the motorcycle look, just with like the old school like fairy tale like drawings and artwork and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Take it out of the slipcover. You got the poster. Like this poster, like honestly, like it's awesome. Like it's such an awesome poster. Like you could have put this on a box set and it would have been really cool as well. But yeah, looking at the back, guys, you got the synopsis, you got the special features, which we'll get into here in a second. And all the information down there at the bottom. Open it up. You got some disc arts. You got that artwork on the disc of the 4K. And then you got the Blu-ray. And then they're also giving you the soundtrack, guys. They are also giving you the soundtrack right there. So right there, guys, you got the 4K, you got the Blu-ray, and you got the soundtrack. There's a nice little, sign up in there, guys. If you want to sign up for the subscription, they give you details on that. Because, yeah, Terrorvision has their own subscription as well. And then they just let you know about some of the other releases. A little card. And I don't know if, does this have reversible? I don't think it has reversible, but it has interior artwork. Which I never get the interior artwork in the black case. Because you can't see it. You got to take it out to even check it out. All right, let me put that back in there. I guess maybe if people switched it out for a clear case. Now, there was a postcard in here as well that has some writings about Rumpelstiltskin. I'll put that up there if you want to read it. But yeah, it's just a postcard. You also got a poster on the inside of this box set, which is cool. Like I said, that is a badass poster, guys. That is a badass poster. Then you got a nice book in here as well with some essays on the film. Just some great stuff. I mean, they went all out for this. Terrorvision did. Like Frogman. I didn't review Frogman. That was a great release as well. That was a great box set. There's something about the Terrorvision box sets. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I like the quality. I just like them. Like they're pretty similar to Vinegar Syndrome, but for some reason, I think they feel better. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. But like this one and Frogman, like I just really love both of these box sets. I just think they're awesome. And this was I think this was like 45 or 50 bucks. It wasn't terrible. It's not a terrible price for everything that you get in here, guys. But I didn't even go over the special features yet. Let me get into that. So in this, you have, let me see, you have a audio commentary with Mark Jones, Tommy Blaze, and Michael Prescott. I'm pretty sure that's a new commentary. I think that is a new commentary for this release. Then you got Making Rumpelstiltskin with Mark Jones, Max Grodenchek, Kim Ulrich, Tommy Blaze, pretty much everybody in the film. The director, I think the producer, writer as well. Charles Bernstein is in here, the composer. So everybody involved in the film came on here to talk about this movie, which is always great. It felt honestly to me, because it's 30 minutes long. There's another one that's like 20 minutes long as well. But the main one, the Making of Rumpelstiltskin, it's about 30 minutes long. Reminded me of a mini version of the Trick or Treats, documentary that they put on the Trick or Treat release last year. But it was a great making of feature, because it's always great when you can get everybody back to just talk about the making of the film very candidly, and to just talk about like the film's legacy and what happened when it came out and all that kind of stuff. It's always great when you can do that. So that was it reminded me of like a mini feature of that Trick or Treat one, which is about an hour and a half, and this one was 30 minutes. But it was a really good feature and really awesome that they were able to include that here. Then you got the production design of Rumpelstiltskin. You also got more Rumpelstiltskin recollection. So that, yeah, they did the initial 30-minute one. I'm kind of confused. They did another one, which is about 20 minutes, had all the same people. I was like, why didn't you just kind of cut this together? Then you would have had like a nice 50 to 55 minute documentary. So I'm not exactly sure why they did the main one. And then they did like more stuff with them talking about Rumpelstiltskin. Then you got never before seen behind the scenes raw home movie footage shot on VHS from the set of Rumpelstiltskin. That is an hour and 28 minutes. And it's pretty much just like on set footage of what was going on the set during the filming of Rumpelstiltskin. And it's like an hour and 30 minutes long. So that was really cool. They were able to get all that extra footage and cut it together in like a nice special feature for this release. Really awesome stuff. Then you got Baking with Cassie Hansen, the homicidal homemaker, Rumpelstiltskin edition. I think she works with Terrorvision frequently. I think it's somebody that has a YouTube channel. It's kind of a cooking horror YouTube channel that kind of combines horror with cooking. I feel like I've seen her on a previous Terrorvision release in the past, but it's a fun little feature. It's only like 2 minutes long. Then you got still galleries and trailers and all the regular stuff here, guys. But I really do think, guys, this is a great release. Like I liked the movie. I didn't love the movie. But I think as a release, like the transfer's fantastic. It's got really good sound. I think the box set's phenomenal. Now, I don't know if you'll still be able to get the box set unless you jump on eBay, but you will be able to get the standard version, right here at some point. They may have the slipcover come with it as well. But I think as far as the release, the 4K is great. Sounds great. Great features. Great box set. I'm totally happy with this. I am totally happy with this. I think it's a great release from Terrorvision. So thank you all so much for watching my review of Rumpelstiltskin on 4K. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos, and we'll see you next time.